Crystal. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. I thought we would do a little crochet and chat today. I am trying to make a pair of crochet socks. Never done it before, but I'm following a tutorial, and I'm at the point in the tutorial where I just crochet up the sock until I reach the length before I get to my heel. So I thought that I would do that with you all and see how far we get. It is a continuous round sock. So, and I will link the tutorial that I am following in the description box. But because I am just sitting here crocheting in silence, I thought, well, I would like to talk to myself, basically. Because that's what I do when I make videos. I talk to the camera, but nobody can answer me. But I thought, well, I do need another video or two for when I'm going to be gone. So, and I was going to work on my blanket, but it's so hot that I was like, I don't really know that I want to have that on my lap when I'm trying to stay cool. And I thought, well, let me do this. I was actually, what inspired me to do this, right? Because I was like, I'm not going to have any more whips. I'm not going to have anything going on because I'm getting ready to leave, blah, blah, blah. Now, by the time you see this, I'm probably going to be either almost on my way home or on the plane, depending on what day this video airs. But for me, it's still the end of June. And I was sitting having my morning coffee, and I was looking at yarn shops. And I was like, I wonder if some of the yarn shops that I went to in North Carolina are still open. Not that I think that I'll be able to get to all of them or many of them, but there was one in particular where this yarn came from. I've never been to the shop, but I did buy this yarn at a... Wait, can I don't know if that made it better or worse. I'm trying to... No, because the window's right behind me, so... Let me maybe turn this way. I'm trying to block out some of that. Now I just look like I have a weird thing on my head. Oh well. We're just here for the chit chat, right? It's so bright. But Nero likes to look out that window, even though his little window seat is gone. It's not gone, but like, I put it up once a day. I'm not putting it up anymore after that. I have cleaned the windows, really tried to like make sure that everything was nice and dry before I put it back up there. I've cleaned the little suction cups, and it just doesn't seem to want to stay anywhere. So anyway, this yarn I bought at a like a farmer's market kind of situation. So in New Bern? Is that where it was? Yeah, in New Bern, North Carolina. There is a farmer's market, and it happens every week. And there are people that have stalls, and they, rent the stall for however long. And They are there for, I guess, however long their contract is, and they will sell. Some people sell baked goods. Some people sell plants. Some people sell. There's all manner of things. There's the people that sell knives, like homemade, like the handles are wooden handles and things like that. And there's some amazing craftsmanship that happens there. And as you walk out the other side, it's kind of like in this barn situation, like a big shed. It doesn't look like a barn, but it's like this big metal building. And as you walk out of it, there are other things out there. And there was this booth set up. It wasn't always set up, but it was set up for a couple of times. And there was this spinning wheel, and they had the ball, the Swift to like take up your yarn. And they had some stuff that was already caked up. And that's the stuff that I got. So I got 2 of these. This is called Kronos. It's their Odyssey yarn. And then I got 2 oddballs. So they don't really match, but they're similar enough to each other. So I thought I would try to make socks with this. And then if I could manage it, I would make socks with the oddballs. Only because this is the same like self-striping yarn. So they're going to be the same. These are the same. But the other ones are not. So I thought, well, I have two socks that are, similar. They're not going to exactly be the same because, well, I guess maybe if I start from the inside. We'll see. Because this one, the blue was on the outside. The blue that's on the bottom was on the outside. And then it's on the inside on this one. So, but anyway, what am I talking about? This is Wayward Fibers. They had a little booth set up. And so when I was looking at my phone, I was like, oh, they're still there. And it would be nice to go visit their shop. So I was looking it up to see what their hours were. And I was like, you know what? I still have that yarn and I haven't used it. So let me go in and grab it, and who knows, maybe it'll even come along with me and I can make both pairs of socks that I never intended on making. But yeah, I was just sitting here because I did, for summer school, I only have so many hours a day, and so I have kids that are in the Pacific. So when I get up in the morning, it's their afternoon time, and so that's when they're usually active. Because I don't know about you when you were in high school, but these kids are, and I don't say it isn't like these kids, right? But my experience with students has been, if they don't have to be up early, it's not happening. And because summer school is online, they definitely don't have to be up early, and they can work at their own time as long as they're turning their assignments in when they're supposed to. So they're usually working in the afternoon, evening times. So I try to be up. I'm always up early because my body wakes me up. It's now waking me up about 6:30 in the morning instead of 5 a.m. But I'm up. So I'm up to help them if they message me, because I tell them, go ahead and message me. You can message me whenever you have a problem or a question. I'm probably going to be asleep if I don't answer you right away. So I will work on that when I get up. And so I wake up, sometimes I have maybe 1 or 2 messages. Sometimes I have like 11 or 12 messages. And that's okay. I answer them because I said, I want you to ask me the question when you're thinking about the question. Don't ask me the question. Don't wait to ask me the question when you think I'm going to be awake, because then you won't remember the question. So if you ask me the question when you're thinking about the question, knowing that I'm 7 hours behind you, then, you know, and even the kids that I have that are in the States, because I have kids that are all over, and by the time you see this, summer school will probably be over, because I have most of my videos already all planned out. So this is going to air the end of July. I don't know what date, but it's going to air at the end of July. So I have kids from all 3 hubs, all 3 regions. And so my kids in the US, when they message me in their evening time, right, it's, so if they're on the East Coast, my midnight is their 6 p.m. Right? So I tell them, please try, you know, to message me in your afternoon time, because then it's my early evening and I can get to you more easily. But also, if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're working, go ahead and message me, because they're 2 o'clock in the morning and my 8 a.m. So I was like, it'll be fine. And it works out. It works out well. But I can do that part of my class, so the Pacific kids, and then I will answer any messages that I have when I get up. I get up, I post my update, because we have to post daily into the class with any new information, any reminders, that kind of stuff. And then I go through and I answer all my messages that I have from students, and then I may send them, if I haven't heard from them in a day or so, I may send them a message, because I am trying to ensure that they're turning in their stuff on time, because 1 day in summer school is like 3 days in a regular classroom. It is pretty intense, because they're taking a semester, so that half credit for their transcript, so it's 18 weeks and they're cramming it into 6 weeks. So it's a lot, but I thought that I would just try my sock on, see if I'm doing a good job. Okay. It may be a little big, but that's all right. It's my first one. So, and this one will probably go on my right foot, just because as many times as I've fallen, my right ankle is a little bigger, and then the swelling sometimes goes down into my foot, and it can make my right foot a little bit bigger than my left foot. Now these won't be ones that I put on with shoes, because they're wool and they're going to be thicker, but it is a DK weight yarn. I didn't tell you anything about the yarn. I told you where the yarn was from. I didn't tell you anything about it. So it is 200 yards, 100% U.S. wool. So, yeah, the name of the yarn is Odyssey, and then the colorway is Chronos. And I am a big mythology person. I taught it when I taught high school English as an elective, and I mean, you slap a mythology name on it, I'm pretty much interested in it. So I will give it a look, you know, more than once. Like, I'll look at it and be like, but I thought that this yarn kind of, like, you know how time changes and then the color changes. I was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, yeah, I could see the hours and the time ticking away and the colors fading into each other, because they do kind of fade rather gently into each other. It's not a harsh break into the color, so you can see, like, if it'll focus. Focus on the yarn. There we go. I'm always doing it the opposite way. So, but they do, the blue slowly fades into the purple and into the red and now into the orange, because I can see there's some red wrapped around this orange. You can see it clearly here. This one is really, yeah, there we go. That one's really wrapped around, you can see. But I'm sure I'll get to that at some point in here. It's in there somewhere. So I'm hoping that I'm doing this correctly, because on the tutorial the lady was like, okay, well, so we increased for 6 rounds, and then she was like, go up to, and she tells you the different rows for the different sizes. But my question with the tutorial is, do I need to go up that many rounds starting? So, like, we did 6 rounds, so is the next round 7 and then I go up to that number that you said? Or do I need to increase, like, let's say it was 40, do I need to increase 40 rounds from that 6, so I have 46? Or do I need to count from 6 and go up to 40 and stop at 40? Like, that's my question, and she didn't answer that question. That was very confusing for me, because I was like, I've never done this before. And here you are telling me that I have to go this many rounds, but then not telling me how. And she gave measurements and stuff too, so it's not like she was like, you go until you're about this far from your heel, and then you'll see if it is gonna work for you. But this doesn't operate on like a stitch count, so there's not like, but I am horrible with, there's not like a formula I have to follow until I guess I get to the heel, which again I've never done, so. Oh Lord, hold on, because now I'm confuzzled. Did I count that wrong? I did. Okay, so then the next round will be, I'll take this out, because then the next round will be the one I need to put this on. Because I try to go by 5s, and then, so like this yellow one, that's 10. but it's 10 from the beginning and not 10 from the 6 rounds. So this isn't round so if I did, this would be this is round 14, and so then this would be, if I did 10 rounds after the 6, then I would still not have put a stitch marker, but I did the 6, and then I did 4 more, and then I'm trying to get to 15, so I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. Somebody who's made socks, help me. Well, somebody who's crocheted socks, help me, because I don't know what I'm doing. I was wondering too when I was making it, I was like, man, is this gonna be just a big doily? Like, when is it gonna turn up? And it's now turned. It's turned up. You ever say something and then you get a song playing in your head? And usually I would start singing the song, but because this is YouTube and I don't want, I mean, I'm not monetized or anything, but I don't want to get like a strike. I don't want to sing the song, but I'm singing in my head. So I'm hoping, like I said, that I can go visit the Wayward Fibers place when I'm in North Carolina. I don't know for sure what I'll be able to do or what I will have time to do, because the biggest reason that I'm going to be there, obviously, is to help my son. He has a summer job, and then he has a little bit of time off, and then his next summer job starts. So I won't have a ton of time with him, unfortunately. But that's okay. But he needs help, like getting things from one place to another and all of that. So, and it's going to be right around the time of his birthday, so that will be fun. But you're not going to see this until after all of that. So, okay, so this is 15. And I try to put it on the one piece of a stitch, and then the one that marks the round, I put it on the whole stitch. That way I don't lose it. Okay. It's coming along. It's coming along. Looks really pretty. We'll see how it goes. So let me know if you've ever made socks before. I've tried a couple of tutorials. There was one tutorial that I tried, Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, and it was nothing against her tutorial. I love Spring's tutorials, but at that point in my life when I was trying to do it, things just kept stopping me. So like I would start it and then somebody would call me and they needed something, or something would happen with one of the kids, and so like I tried to start the tutorial, no lie, 10 times until finally I was like, I just no. So I may go back and maybe instead of doing the sock pattern that I'm doing now, maybe I'll go back and do hers. Who knows? Maybe it's pretty similar. Find out. But I am just chilling, making some socks. And I thought, well, why don't I just do it with you all? And maybe this will be another great way that I can use up some yarn. Like once I learn how to do this stuff, right? I can just commit it to memory. I won't commit it to memory, I'm not gonna lie. What I'll have to do is write it down, and then I'll have to come back and do it, like read over it again. That is so pretty. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Okay, I think I ended up with more stitches. I think in the round that is 3, so you increase and then crochet 3, and then increase and then crochet 3. I think I crocheted 2 in one spot and then increased. So I think what I might do is, as I'm getting over the widest part of my foot, right there where the arch starts, I might decrease down a little bit so it's a little bit more snug on my foot, and then maybe increase back. We'll see. Never even made socks before, and here I am playing with the pattern. Oh, don't fall. Little stitch marker. Quick. Okay, so that's 15. Now we're at 16. I'll put this one back on there. I hope everyone's doing okay. It's not too hot where you are, because it is July, so when you're watching this, it's July. I mean, because I know here in Sicily already, so I'm sure it'll be worse by the time this actually airs, but there was very little rain this year, and they were already predicting in end of March, beginning of April, that there was going to be a drought, and they were telling people, especially in some of the more southern parts of Sicily, that they were going to be on water rations. And before we were out of school, so right at the beginning of June, some of those places, the water rationing had already started, because they said there's just not going to be enough if we don't start now. So they would get water every 15 days. So a lot of places, especially the further south you go in Italy, they don't have potable water. So that just means that you can use the water for things, but you don't want to drink it. So they will have these big blue tanks that get filled. They get water brought in, and essentially they're saying that you're going to get water every 15 days. no more than that. They won't they won't bring it to you. So there are a lot of agricultural areas down there. So that is something that they are probably, even now, the end of July when you're watching this, I mean, I'm sure they're really, really struggling with, because last year in July there were fires and all kinds of things going on. Here it was kind of scary, honestly. And I hope that doesn't happen again. I know the one that was closest to me, the fire that was closest to me, it was started, it wasn't, I don't think it was intentionally started by people, but someone started it. It wasn't like a spark or something, but because it was so hot and so very dry, it didn't take much, right? So that's why you need to be super cautious when you are out. Oh yeah. Isn't that so pretty? I'm trying to see if it's gonna fit the way that it needs to. So I hope that does not happen for anybody's sake. I mean, I know people lost a lot of things, and there were towns without power and all that for quite a long time. And my town was very fortunate that it came like basically right up to the town, but it didn't affect the town at all. So I'm gonna decrease there. Some other little light bulb stitch markers. So I don't think I'm gonna need to increase again, but I think that by decreasing, that will make it feel a little better on my foot. We'll see what happens. I could be wrong. Maybe I should have decreased a long time ago, but yeah, I don't know. She used the tutorial that I was watching. She used a 4-weight yarn, and this is a 3-weight yarn. But I am using a little bit bigger hook size because I do crochet really tightly, so I was like, well, let me go up a hook size, and maybe that will help adjust for some of the difference in what you need. But yeah, so far so good. It looks so pretty. I was just checking how long we've been chatting. It's been about 30 minutes. So I might do another round or two and then let you all go, because there are a few things that I need to do around the house to finalize before we leave, and then I've been trying to, minimize the amount of trash that we've been using. So we have trash every day, They pick up every day but Sunday. They pick up something, and they're very, very big on recycling here because there's just not places for big dumps and things like that to hold a lot of trash. So they're very, very big on recycling. And with that, they pick up, here in this town, they pick up something every single day. So we have to set our trash out. Something gets set out every day. But I try to, as we're getting closer to leaving, I'm trying to, like paper, for example, has already been set out. So I try to get as much stuff, like when I was doing my yarn room and cleaning everything out, I was trying to put as much paper, like, so all those boxes and all the things, I was like, well, let me do this now, and then I put out a whole bunch, and then I'm trying to really minimize what I'm using, because also in my freezer, I mean, it is a standard American freezer, but I did not decrease again. I don't need an odd number of stitches. I need to decrease again. Let me go back a little bit. Decrease on. I was just crocheting along here. Okay. I don't like that one. But anyway, I tried to make sense of the paper usage now that I'm not going to be here for the paper to be thrown out. The biggest thing is food and like my cat's canned food. So I try to minimize that as well. And I've been doing fairly well, I think. But when the person who's watching Nero, when they feed him, they'll just have to remember, on a given day, right, to take out the trash that has his cans in it, because even if you rinse it out, I mean, it does start to smell after a little while, unless, I mean, you're washing and scrubbing that can. It does tend to smell. So just want to be mindful of that when they're doing it. But I have another one or two. What's today? Oh, geez. At least another day of trash, if not two. And then, so my goal is to put the food trash out the very last trash day. That way, they will take it, and I won't have anything left. I mean, and if I have to, I can put it out, I guess, the day that I leave, and then just have the person who's coming to check on Nero just bring the bin back in. But we have bins, they're color coded for each day, and then I tried to find bins with the same colors, which wasn't hard to do, to match for inside the house, so that I can just take the trash out from that bin and put it in the corresponding color outside, because I don't want to have to go outside every time I need to throw something away. And also help my daughter when she's helping me with trash and things. It coordinates, so she doesn't have to think about, wait, what does this one go in again? But yeah, so. I don't remember what started that whole conversation. I hope I made my point. I don't know if I ever got to the point or not. If I didn't, then tell me in the comments below what I started talking about. and then I'll know if I didn't get to the point or not. I get so distracted with the counting. I need to make sure that I am not losing stitches, because I will inevitably not keep track, and then I will end up saying all kinds of bad words to these socks that I'm making. I know it's going to be hot when we're in the States too, because all the places that we're going are in the South, and all very hot and humid places. I mean, it's humid here, definitely, but so far it's not gotten to like 100% humidity, which I know it will be, at least in a couple of the places that we're going. And I don't want to. And you can't make me. But I just have to make sure that I'm trying to keep myself cool, because with the issues that I have from all of the chemo and things that I had, my body doesn't regulate temperature well. I mean, also going through menopause and hot flashes and whatever for the past 14 years. It's just great. My body, I don't know that I'm hot until I'm too hot. Because your lymph nodes filter out it's a filtering system for your body, but it also helps with the temperature in your body, and I don't know that I'm hot until I'm too hot. And one of the only places that I sweat is at the back of my neck. So like I'll get really, really hot on my neck, but I have dark hair, so I try to keep my head covered, also because my hair is very thin, so I don't want to get sunburned on my head, but also if I cover it with, like, I have a couple of very light colored, one of them is like, I think it's meant to be like a neck thing, but I use it like literally, basically it's like a sock for my head, so I put it on and have it around my neck, and then I pull it up over and it sits right here, and it goes down the back of my neck, and like if I'm at the beach or something, I'll put water on it, not salt water, but I'll put like water on it from a water bottle, or if there's a faucet or there's a bathroom nearby, I'll just get it wet in the sink and then put it on my head. So that helps keep me cooler. But I have gotten very hot very fast. And here, even, there have been a couple of times where I felt like I was going to pass out because it was too hot. But I didn't know that I was that hot until it was almost too late. So I'm just gonna see if that, before I get too far, if that decrease. Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. What is that? What is that? Oh, that's the stitch marker. I was like, why is it bright yellow? Me showing you the stitch marker that I put on there, and then not remembering the stitch marker later. Oh my goodness. Okay. So where am I? 10, 15. Uh-oh, did I move over? Oh no, that's the decrease. 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. I think I'm going to take these out because I think we're going to be good. Okay. 18. Yeah. Well, I guess since I'm already at the end of this round, I'm going to put the stitch marker in so that I don't forget what I'm doing. And then I will let you all go because it is nearly 50 minutes. And as much as I have enjoyed sharing with you all, I do have a couple of things that I have to get done. And then pretty soon I'll be on a jet plane. And by the time you're watching this, it'll be on a jet plane to come back. But for me, it's going to be on a jet plane to head to the US for a little while. So, what do you think so far? What do you think of the colors? I think they're playing out really beautifully. And I'm hoping that I get to make some more beautiful socks. But I'm glad I could bring you along on this journey. And I will post pictures after, since this is going to be scheduled out. I may even, who knows, if I'll get to finish the second sock, right? You always have that, people talk about the second sock syndrome. I've never experienced it because I've never done socks before, but we'll find out. And I'll take a picture when I'm done and maybe schedule it for my community tab to post after this is gone up, because I've done the same thing with the puzzles. So I did all those puzzles basically in one day and Mod Podge them, and I took pictures of them once they were all dry, and then I scheduled the posts to be up for you all so that you could see the finished product even if I wasn't around, and I'm not going to carry the puzzles with me, so I thought that would be kind of a neat way for you to see it after I did it with you all. Alrighty, so as always, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!